What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot, and today we're going to do another comparison video. This time we're going to do it with the Earth style Soundwave molds that have been released versus the new studio series that is coming out. Now, with the new studio series, this is giving us more solid views here so far. We don't have any hollowness this time. There are covers for where the hands are this time. They do look like they also open and close. As far as the height, I do not know, but he does have all the proper weapons he's supposed to have. He's going to also come with 3 cassettes, but we're not going to talk about them. I would need to isolate those pictures and then I would be able to do that. We're going to start talking about the comparisons between the 3 other Soundwaves we got that was starting with Netflix in 2021, Dramatic Capture in 2023-24, and also Legacy United in, I believe, 25, right? I don't remember. It's been so much. We have so many Soundwaves. Let's go. Now, the new Soundwave has a QC issue. Right in the picture, man. Yeah, but anyway, we could see that there. Very uniform, minimal colors, the silver, the blue, you can see, from the robot in there. Over to the right, this is the Netflix version. Now, over time, we realized that the paint job on this was kind of odd, but I liked it. The yellow, to me, highlights Soundwave's chest, like when he's making like the Energon cubes. Now, as far as the alt mode, even the plastic when it was not gray, kind of not, yellowing, kind of stood out. And you could see it in certain, like at the top of the tops of the sides, you could tell they were the feet. They didn't quite blend in well when you transformed it into the tape mode. But overall, though, it did have a good sculpt and the parts were solid. Now, again, when we compare this to robot mode, first things first, we're going to see is the blue on Soundwave. Now, the blue on Soundwave varies. Sometimes he could be dark. Sometimes he could be almost at the same color as Sound Blaster in some scenes. But the Next Push version never got the color right. And actually, when it started to yellow, it starts to turn odd shades of blue on the main blue parts. It's a very odd blue. It's not quite what it is. When you put it under like a good natural light, that's where you could really see it's kind of, I don't know what kind of blue it is, but it just doesn't match Soundwave in the animation. It doesn't. The only thing that I liked about this Soundwave was the stripes being orange. I don't know why. I just like the stripes being orange. But the yellow cassette door always made me think of when his chest glows for Energon cubes or when he's getting ready to make like a, plans or something. So that's why I always like the yellow on the chest. Next, we're going to skip to United. Why did I go with United beforehand? Because United is actually, I would say, missing a lot of apps that Dramatic Capture has. So we're going to talk about that when we get Dramatic Capture. Again, with Legacy United, it got a little bit more uniform. The color on him is a very kind of dark blue. It's more of a dark navy blue. And I like that because there are instances of Soundwave where he came in with those colors, animation, whatever, sometimes he would have like a darker blue, especially like when his first appearance on Cybertron. There's a very, very kind of like that dark blue and the white. But then there'd be other episodes where he's a little more bluish. This is one where he kind of stands out. The problem that I had with United was the gray tabs. They're still gray. They're more uniform, but they're still gray. And even if you compare him to the robot mode, it's the same thing. Like now the gesture is too orange and the stripes are too orange. So those look odd. The fact that the door has orange stripes there makes it look weird too. I like the door on Soundwave so far. I know it's bigger and everybody's going, it should be clear plastic. It should be clear plastic. And I want to hear your noise. But I do admit I do miss aspects so far of Earthrise. Well, I don't know if this is considered Earthrise because it never came under Earthrise, but the Earth style, I do appreciate the chest. But if we're getting new cassettes, now will these cassettes be the same size? Will they be able to fit or will they be new? Because if that's the case, are we going to get a new Rumble? I mean, there's especially on the Decepticon side, there's way more cassettes. I mean, even before we get to Japan, then the Autobots have, like blasters. So I'm wondering, like I said, we need to see more. And I'm sure we're going to do that. Now onto the dramatic capture series. And this one is probably as close as we could get actually to G1. The blue one, this one is about almost, I'd put it in toy accuracy. And what, like several episodes, again, when they use that a specific shade of blue, but with the lighter gray pieces where the feet are, the lighter gray pieces that fold over those, the rubber parts that kind of fold over where the play sign are, it does make him look a lot more uniform. This looks more cartoon accurate than the one on the left in a way. But, like I said before, apples to oranges. I don't, I'm not getting like, oh my God, if I don't, I can't say that. The new Soundwave just looks better, but dramatic capture is probably the best. Like if you don't have a Soundwave, dramatic capture is pretty much it. The downside of dramatic capture is the eyes. The eyes are there's the light piping. I don't understand. They gave him the light piping, but it does not shine through. And I think the shading of the plastic is darker. And like I said, I own all of these Soundwaves. So you're not talking to anyone that doesn't own them. I tried to fix it, but I almost screwed it up. So some people say you could, I was going to think about getting some nice masking tape or something and kind of like do like this one guy did and give him that red look. But I mean, now we're getting the new one. The other thing I don't like about any of the other three is that they had all those details that were left over from Siege. And it kind of carried over. So they have this sort of mechanical look. But what we're going to get with the Seekers and what we're going to get with the 86 Seekers as well as 86 Soundwave, we're going to get that. We're definitely going to get that more smooth animation look. And I think that's what is carrying us through. But I'm going to say this. Say what you want. Any one of these three Soundwaves was, excellent. A choice to have. Maybe not the Netflix one, but I'm gonna be honest with you. With the Netflix one, the joints and tolerances on him are the best out of the other two. The worst is probably dramatic capture. Yeah, dramatic capture is it's loose. It just you have days where you just want to throw it in away. United kind of fixed a few of those things, but if you ask me, United, it kind of is. It's missing some things. Like it's good, but dramatic capture has that to it. It's just the eyes, like if the eyes from the one of the other Soundwaves were put on dramatic capture, then you would have the perfect Soundwave. But now we got the 86 version, and that is the better looking Soundwave to me. Like everything else about the Soundwaves that we have been dealing with are of, like I say, Earthrise. We might as well call him Earthrise Soundwave. He's been through a lot of repaints. I was, United never should have happened. United should have never happened because we were told way back in 22 that we were going to get a Studio Series 86. And I have a lot of people that have been vouching for me because I reported on this eons ago before a lot of you wannabes. You could say what you want. I did it first. Go back and look. I told everybody they want to make another one because of Blaster. Because a lot of people couldn't even get Blaster because he was the last pack in Kingdom. I'm going to say when I get mine, I definitely do a comparison. I like that Soundwave is his own mold now. And that means a lot, that he's his own mold. Is he perfect? Well, he's got QC issues already. But some people, they're going to say what they say. We only can speculate once we get the figure. So again, what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. I'm out of here. This is Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reveals to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.